Ladies and gentlemen, there are few greater rewards in life than facing your own fear. I learned this while on a backpacking trip in southern Colorado. Personally, I have a tremendous fear of heights. The very thought of altitude makes my legs weak and my head spin. However, I decided to overcome this fear by hiking a mountain called Mount Rinker with an elevation of 14,000 feet. Now, in order to first reach the mountain, I had to hike 9 hours into a base camp in National Forest. Now, 9 hours might not seem like a lot, but let me tell you, with a 40-pound pack on your back and thin mountain air, it is a long time. After 9 intense hours that seemed like a week to me, I finally made it to the base camp and collapsed into my tent. However, I didn't get a very long time to rest, for I had to wake up early the next morning in order to reach the mountain before the mid-afternoon storms rolled in. At 5 a.m., I set out and first hiked through a valley that was littered with old mining equipment. This abandoned equipment seemed to me to say, "Stay away from this mountain, you will die on it." However, I ignored the warnings and began to ascend the first ridge. Halfway up, I looked around and noticed just how high up I was. My fear overwhelmed me like a tidal wave. I began to panic, but my friends kept me strong, and we reached the top of the ridge safely. However, the journey is far from over. I had to hike along this ridge for 3 miles in order to reach the summit. Now, this ridge was 10 feet wide. On the left and right was a straight drop to death. Not only did I have little room to maneuver, but I had an 80-mile-an-hour crosswind seeking to blow me into the valley. The entire hike, I bargained with God, saying, "If I survive, I will never hike another mountain. Just keep me safe." He apparently listened to me because I made it to the summit safe and sound, despite my overwhelming fear. When I reached the summit, my fear melted away, and I took in the grandest panoramic view I have ever seen in my life. I could see for miles around. There were glistening valleys and snow-capped mountains in the late afternoon sun. It was tremendous to behold. I came to the conclusion that had I listened to my fear and the warning post down in the valley, I would have never seen this view, and I would have missed out on a wonderful opportunity. Therefore, my friends, I exhort you to do what I did and find your fear and face it. Without that, you may not live the fullest life you possibly could.